All right, it is knife time, coming to you from this lovely Thursday, Bowie Thursday morning here at Junker Forge. The goats are yelling, the wind is blowing, you probably can't even hear me. We're gonna get into it. Today's the year anniversary of me posting little videos, me and Move On. I made the channel years back and life stuff happens, and last fall I was like, hey, you know what? I'm gonna fire up the knife channel, and I have. I'm working with a migraine here today. It only happens every once in a while, but when it does, hoo-wee, I'm gonna go back to my dark little room here in a bit. All right. Now Move On did a short on this, and I want to do a full-length video on it here on our little year anniversary. I might do another video later, I might do a live later, I don't know. Depends on how the old brain is. But this here is, see that there? This is the Cold Steel Wild West Bowie, because we're out here in the Wild West and it's tough out west, kid. And if you can't figure that out, well, head east, young man, head east. This is the Cold Steel Wild West Bowie, model 81B. That's right, 81, brother. Look at that thing. Look at that. This is 10.6 some odd inches long, the blade there, with a 10-inch cutting edge. This is 15.875 inches overall. It has a very bitchin' hollow grind. The blade is 2.4 inches wide at its widest point. This is high carbon steel. Oh man, and this is a monster of a knife. It really is. This is not a joke. This is not a display knife. This is not some fake wonkadoo encapsulated tang. That's rosewood. That's brass. That's a good solid chunk of steel. Bam. 0.19 on the blade thickness there, just plenty thick. I have put this knife through 10 knives worth of use and what some would consider abuse, and yet here it is. And the funny thing about this is, if you look on my guard, it's slightly discolored and such. I ordered this knife from a highly reputable knife dealer who's usually one of the fastest ones to get me my knives on time when I want them. And I ordered this, and it was like I kept checking my email for tracking numbers. I kept checking my email for tracking numbers, and nothing came up for a long ass time. And I was like, dude, this sucks, man. Like, I want my knife because I had a camping trip planned out, and I wanted to take the Wild West Bowie with me on my Wild West adventure into the mountains. And eventually, it showed up. And boy, I ran down to the mailbox. The mailbox here is about a quarter mile down the road from the house. And I ran down to the mailbox, and big old package sticking out of my mailbox. I grabbed it, I come back to the house, and I cracked open the outside box. And this almost like a corpse smell came out of the box. I was like, God damn, what the hell is that? And I pulled out, and this sheath was solid, and I mean solid, fuzzy ass green and black and white mold. I mean, it was mold, and it stunk. It stunk like a body. And you know what? These are made in India, as per what the Cold Steel website and all the other dealer websites say. And cows are sacred in India. So where are we getting this leather? What's this leather from? Just curious. Just curious. Oh, by the way, this thing has a giant dangler. Danglers aren't my thing. I don't think danglers are very tactical. I don't think danglers are very efficient. I don't know who came up with the Chernobyl pony carry. It's ridiculous. So I keep this thing tied down with the little leather thong that's supplied. And so I washed the sheath, and I slathered it with Obanoffs, and boy, I had to keep it outside for a few days. It stunk that bad. And the knife, the blade, was covered in like this old Cosmoline style grease you see on old, what do you call it? Surplus type gear. Like old surplus rifles back in the 80s and 90s, when you get them, they'd have this layer of grease on them they call Cosmoline. And the blade of this, it didn't have a mark on it, but this guard was as green as the Statue of Liberty. These handles were covered in mold and this weird slimy. I was like, what the hell, dude? And you know what? I took pictures and I sent them to the dealer, and they're like, holy cow, man, send that back to us. We'll send you a new one. And I'm like, no, dude, I'm going on my camping trip. I just wanted to let you know that you should check inside that cold steel box before you ship these things out, because other people might get butt hurt. I'm not that simple. I just cleaned it up and kind of gave it a patina right out the gate for me. Yeah. And I'll tell you, this thing, it's a tank. I used to get bored at work, and we had all these pallets. Sometimes I'd haul them to burn or whatever, but sometimes I'd just sit there, these hardwood pallets, and I would just decimate them all night, all day long. Quang, quang, quang. Chop them up into little bitty bits. And this thing, I've never sharpened it. It's still almost shaven sharp. Almost. Well, we got it. It's a little rough, but almost. And I've never touched the edge on this thing. I split my firewood with this all one winter. Boom! Not even batoning. I just put the piece of it out. I'd put a log in front of me, wham, and just beat through it. And and other people I've seen, they've got some wiggle on their crossguard. I never got no wiggle on my crossguard, man. This thing, I don't know, even though it came all corroded and everything, mine's always been good. This is a hollow grind, if I didn't mention that already. Very shiny. These are really cool. You can bolt the scales off. You got to hammer that pin out. You can put whatever scales you want on here. This is a cool, like, customizing type Bowie if you want one. This is a good base Bowie, a full tang, real world Bowie. Very similar to the old Western model. Sezco. This is just a classic. I mean, look at that S-guard. Yes. For super cool. Super cool. I dig this a lot. If you want a working Bowie knife, I believe this is one of the ways to go. You can get these for under $100. Depends on when there's sales, if it's Prime Day or Memorial Day. You know, like, we live in a world of consumerism, so there's always sales going on. You can find these anywhere from $80 to $100 all the time. Right now, the website I got this from, there's $93. Okay, it was more when I got it. And the realization I came to, the reason why mine was so corroded and nasty and mold filled is, do you remember a few years back when they had all the shipping containers on lockdown and they weren't allowing any products to be offloaded off ships? I think that's what might have happened with this one. It might have been sitting in the salty sea air on a boat for a long ass time before I got my hands on it. I believe I got this in late 21 or early 22. I can't remember. I disremember. Like I said, the old head's pounding today. I got some horrible news this morning too. I woke up to some, nothing in my life, but kinda, but there's some people out there, man. Vet your friends. Know who you're hanging out with. I'll tell you that much. Look at that thing. Yeah, there it is, the 81B. That badass Bowie boy. This is literally one of my go-to chop 'em up whatever knives, you know. It's a good one. It's a good one. Even though it came to me in sus condition, I don't care, man. I ain't that picky about things. Yeah, if it would have came with some BS encapsulated tang that would snap off and catch me in the face or something, I'd be pretty upset about that. But you know, you can count on cold steel almost every time. I don't care who says what, man. Like, even since Lynn Thompson got rid of the company, sold it to that big old China conglomerate, I've never had a bad cold steel experience. I realized there was a time where they had issues, but I'd stayed away from them during that time. There it is, the Wild West Bowie. All right. This is very classical, very classic. If you want like a one and done Western style Bowie knife, drop your $100 bill on this. You won't regret it. You won't regret it. Like I said, you could make new scales if you live in an apartment in New York City. You could literally buy a file and take and make whatever you want. Don't let nobody tell you no different, man. You can do whatever the hell you want to do. Get crafty. I left mine stock. If I ever see any handle material that fits my fancy, I might pop it on here, but you know, this is like a working knife for me. And it's held its polish a long time. This is really good high carbon steel. I promise you that. It's got that Wilford P. Brimley tip. Dat tip, boy. Yeah, this will lob. That'll lob. I'll take parts off. Yeah. This is almost like carrying a hatchet. And you know, and that's the thing. That's the thing, you know, when you go into the lore and legend of the Bowie knife, you know. It's supposed to be sharp enough to be a razor, strong enough to be a hatchet, wide enough to be a paddle, and long enough to be a sword. Those are like the old things, the rules of a Bowie. And this checks those boxes. All right. I hope everybody is having a wonderful Thursday out there. I'll probably catch you guys a little bit later today. Yay. Kind of stoked. I'm doing this for a year. I got like 300 people subscribed up around there, and that's pretty amazing. Like I said, I started this off just to kind of be like a knife diary. And I've met some interesting people along the way. Some cool people, made some friends, met some crazy people too. Some wild ones. Woo-wee. Yeah, the internet has some weirdos, just like the world. You know what I'm saying? Gotta watch that old top knot at all times, like Uncle Jock tells you at the end of the videos. Yeah, I'm a little out of it. I'm in half move on mode right now, you guys. I'm gonna go kick back, relax for a little bit. Cold steel, Wild West Bowie, 81B. There it is. Don't think that this is the same as a Sezco Bowie. Sezco Bowies are really neat and for the price or thing, but this thing, it's chunked up. It's like an upgraded version, you know? This is worth every penny, and this will last you. Look at that cool little lanyard spot. And that fucking grip. And oh, I don't know if I ever got into that. I have, but you know, you make that okay grip. That's like one of the most important grips to master on a knife, you guys. You get that okay grip. It allows you to do all the chopping. And when you do this and you grab it, it gives you that good that swashbuckling. Yeah. All right. Happy day to everybody out there. And watch your top knot.